Is it working? Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sara, Sabodosa, for those who don't know me. I've only been a parishioner here with my husband for 2 years. And I just wanted to reflect on my perspective being in the rescue project here. When it was announced first here at the church, I immediately felt a calling to help out. I attended the information session that laid out all the roles, and having the charism or gift from God of hospitality, I knew right away God clearly guided me to join that team. And my initial intent was just to be behind the scenes as a giver, not as a receiver. I was very reluctant to be a participant, as I often finish work at 6:30, and hence why I'm here late today. I routinely stay there until 7:30 on nights that the rescue project would normally be taking place. But Janelle invited me. She assured me I would make it for small group discussion, and lo and behold, I became a participant. Within the first week and all the way to the very end, I was filled with so much gratitude for the intercessory prayer team in particular. Their prayers helped the community as a whole. If you think about it, anyone who was a participant, we had 0 snowstorms that stopped us from coming here. And that was a huge worry for me when I joined the initial team, was wondering, are we going to have cancellations because of that? In addition, their prayers helped me on a personal level. Did you know that each of them prayed for us by name? And so what I realized was they made me amazingly productive at work. I was able to complete notes on time. I was able to have the right amount of cancellations and leave work right at the time where the rescue project was just starting. I was there between 6:45 and 7 every night, and I never missed a start of a video with Father Ricardo. Speaking of Father Ricardo, our paths first crossed 10 years ago when I attended undergrad in Livonia, Michigan. He was the pastor at Our Lady of Good Counsel in Plymouth, Michigan, the next town over. Back then, I knew that Father John would have extraordinary things that he would accomplish in the Archdiocese of Detroit. I would never fathom what God had in store for him here and through the rescue project. His 8 weeks discussing created, captured, rescued, and response gave me so much nostalgia of his impactful homilies that I still remember to this day. The weeks focusing on captured were my most impactful ones, because I finally better understood the third person on stage, which is Satan. It allowed me to recognize the devil's evil tactics on our everyday lives. The vision that the enemy is the enemy changed the way I thought of how people would act and react. Satan's ultimate goal is to take ownership over the world and each of us, each of our souls. One recent example that I had was I decided to come to daily mass before setting up for the rescue project. Right during the process of coming here, I heard in my head, "You don't have time to go to mass." I recognized his voice, his lie, and I went, and I did have time. I was able to come to mass, I was able to set up, and I was able to go to work, so I knew his lie. It's heartbreaking that he wants to divide and conquer the church, especially these people that God has created to be good and that God has rescued. What we know is that Jesus, the Redeemer, came to liberate each of us. God's kingdom is stronger than his evil that he can do. The Kerygma, which you learned over the past several weeks, is just a living and breathing testimony of just that, full of stories of Jesus as our warrior. So what is our response, each one of us? If you have not attended the rescue project, I pray that God moves you to participate. Your schedule will get cleared because the prayer teams got you covered. So that's not an excuse. God also gave us so many gifts at baptism, and those gifts are meant to be given away. So if you have participated, or if God has given you the gift of leadership, helps, hospitality, music, or craftsmanship, then this is an opportunity for you to be a giver. In closing, I challenge each of you to answer God's callings and imagine what impact you could make 10 years from now just because you fulfilled God's great commission. Thank you.